Welcome and thank you for joining in good time. Please confirm that you can hear me. Hi Lillian, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sani Usman. Thanks for that confirmation. Thank you for Luke for joining in good time. Thank you, Jamila, for joining. Sakina, Sani Usman, Grace. Thank you so much. Our facilitator is in the room already. Thank you. Thanks for the confirmation. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to start shortly just to give room for possible people that want to join. So in the next 2 minutes, that's by 1:07, we're going to start. Well, thank you so much for joining and coming in good time, really. So while we wait, please do us a favor, introduce yourself in the chat room, your name, where are you joining us from, and what's the name of your school. Yeah, so because this is a room full of educators, so let's have an idea of where you're calling from, where you're joining us from rather, and the name of your school. So my name is Wuraola. I'm with WAAW Foundation, and I'm calling in from Lagos. So if we have anybody who would like to speak, that's also fine. You can indicate. We'll give you the room to unmute. But if not, please use the chat room. Then we officially start in the next 1 minute. Thank you, Sani. Sani says it's from Federal. Give me a second. My chat room just closed. Just give me a second. Okay. From Federal University of Transportation, Dara Katsina. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining. Good afternoon. Let me see the pulse of the room. How many people do we still have? We're expecting about at least 80 plus people registered for this. So we can anticipate that more people would join in, will start joining in. So to be sure. Okay, Foluke, thanks for joining from Agege Government Senior College. Welcome. That's Lagos. Grace is joining from Kenya. Nice. Very comprehensive Kiambu, Kenya. Welcome. I want to be sure I can still see my screen while this is ongoing. Okay, so we're going to start. Officially welcome to the WAAW Foundation's Teachers Webinar. Please, with a show of excitement, clap. What's that word? Cheering, pumpings, and all. Show your excitement in the room. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Sani. Thank you for looking for that engagement. We appreciate. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Once again, my name is Wuraola Kayode. For the duration of this call, I would be anchoring the session alongside my other colleague Lillian, who is also from the programs department. On this call, we also have some of our team members from WAAW Foundation. Sorry, please give me. Please permit me to say, Lillian, do you mind sharing the screen from your end? I don't know, my network keeps making this thing pop up in different ways. So I'm going to stop sharing from my end.
Okay, let me share.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. So welcome. Do we have anybody in the room who has attended any of our webinars before? Do we have anybody in the room who has attended any of our webinars? You can drop your comments in the chat room, or you can indicate so we can hear voices. Have you attended any of WAAW Foundation's trainings before? Yes, no, no, yes. Let's get the sense of it. Do we have responses? Yes. Okay, Grace. Thanks for that response. Do you mind speaking? Which of the months did you join in? Which months did you attend? Is it last year or it's years back? Let's just have a sense of that. Grace, you can indicate if you would like to speak so we could hear voices. Do we have any other person in the room who has attended any of our trainings? We want to have an idea of who is in the room this year about inclusive learning. Okay, most likely that will be last year because this is our first one for this year, so it's most likely November. It was November we had inclusive learning. Well, thank you so much for rejoining. For those who are here for the first time, welcome. This is WAAW Foundation. We hope that the next time we have another connect, you would be a part of it, just like Grace, hopefully. So once again, welcome. My name is Burala. For those who are just joining, we have the WAAW Foundation team on the call, and we already have our facilitator, Mr. Soji, who I would introduce very shortly. But before that, we already have a number of people who have introduced themselves. But if you have not introduced yourself, please do well to drop in the comments your name, where you are joining us from, and the school that you teach or the organization that you teach. So very quickly, I'm going to introduce WAAW Foundation and what we do, who we are, so that for subsequent time you get to see what are the programs that we have and how can you plug in, whether for you or for the students in your community. Next slide, please. Please give me a second. I don't know why my screen keeps bouncing everywhere. Okay, thank you, Lillian. It's back now. Thank you. Okay, so who are we? WAAW Foundation is abbreviated, and we're working to advance science and technology education for African women, for African young girls as well. We are a non-profit that was established in 2007. We're on a mission really to empower African women and girls to become transformative leaders through STEM education. So our core focus is amplifying STEM through young girls, amplifying STEM amongst women. And we also get to incorporate the leadership and entrepreneurship aspects through trainings, ensuring that they're able to make significant impact in the world that they are in. And it could also start from their immediate community or the nation as it may be. For our vision, we create a world where African women are formidable global leaders, transforming lives through technology, through science and innovation. And you get to see this, you get the feel of this through the programs that we run, which I would quickly briefly speak about, how we are making our mission, our vision possible. Next slide, please. Okay, so our programs, and we called out these three because these three are very peculiar to you and to the young girls that we work with. We have a need-based scholarship program which happens every year. This is a need-based scholarship that focuses on young women across Africa. Now, this is targeted at young girls who are currently in tertiary universities, ensuring that they continue to have access to school. So it won't be a case of, oh, because I did not have this particular funds, I couldn't complete my STEM focused program. Hence why we said it's important that we provide this scholarship program for young girls across Africa. Just this year, we already have 50 girls who we've even introduced across our social media platform who will be benefiting from this scholarship program. One of the things that they do is, for every scholar that we have, they are able to give back to their community by going to schools. So that's why it's very important that we also interact with teachers, because it's like a flow of support. While we provide support for young girls, we're also interacting with teachers, because at the end of the day, these young girls go to schools and they also interact with you guys, right? So they go back to school and engage with the young girls in that school, in secondary schools. Increasing their awareness to STEM, increasing their interest in STEM, having a sense of what's the reality in the school, what are the STEM gaps that they currently have. in the school. So that's how the outreach comes to be. So it's a two pipeline program. We empower the young girls that are in university. They go back to empower the young girls in secondary school. So there's a flow. There's a mentorship support flow that happens across our program for that. We also have the college secondary outreach and mentoring, which I've touched on. And we also we have to emphasize mentoring, right? Because we've seen over time that young girls, and again, through our reports and all, that young girls are more armed, right, to be interested in STEM when they see other people who are in this. So imagine a young girl who is probably taking computer science comes to a school and interacts with a girl who is very curious about what computer science is, or even thinks that, oh, okay, another girl can also take this course. For that, you're already increasing the awareness for them and the opportunity for them to go into university and apply for courses that will also challenge them, all within STEM. So that's what this program, two of them, kind of sync with. Then lastly is our STEM teachers training, which is one of the ones we're having now. Every year we have about 3. 2 happens to be virtual, then 1 is physical. So last year we had 3, as I said. This year, this is the first one we're having, and we have 2 more that we hope that you get to be a part of. The STEM teacher training pretty much is we pour into our teachers, right? Again, because we know that by the time our girls, the young girls, come to the secondary schools, there's sometimes where the only reason why some of them have access to schools is because of the teachers who link them to the principals, right? So we know that you are a strong force in this, hence why we also pour into our teachers through this teachers training. Oftentimes it's just STEM focused, but one of the things we've done lately is go beyond just STEM focused to a number of things, right? So this year we're going to be talking about the national policy that guides access to STEM in schools. So it's also important that these policies exist. How do you ensure that the government, or you hold them accountable to implement what it is? We're also ensuring that there's balance as you teach in your well-being, in your growth, right? So beyond just teaching, what are the other opportunities that teachers can participate in? Hence why this particular session is very important, because it's talking about beyond the classroom, what's really there for we, our teachers. But we know that there are many opportunities. There are other opportunities that you can pivot in, or you can plug in. Hence why we made this session possible. So we're going to start right now by introducing our facilitator. But before I introduce him, I also want to talk about our partner. Next slide, please. For our sessions, we know that it's critical that we establish partners to make this happen, right? So hence why we reached out to Mr. Soji, who would be speaking shortly. But before that, I would like to really touch on what are the objectives of this session. I know a number of you have gotten series and series of emails from us, WhatsApp messages, because we just needed to ingrain it so that you come in with a demand from us. So this is our promise to you, this is our commitment to you, and why this training matters. One of the things that we'll be talking about is access to leadership opportunities as teachers. What are the global opportunities that are there, whether fellowship or through scholarships, professional learning communities that you can be a part of beyond the existing one that you currently have. What are the digital opportunities as well beyond the classroom, and the international exposures and certifications that you can benefit. We believe that teachers deserve growth beyond the classroom, hence why we made this happen. So without further ado, allow me to introduce our facilitator, Mr. Soji, who will be anchoring the next bit of this session. But before I hand over to him, we're recognizing our partners, of which Mr. Soji leads. That's the Community Innovation Hub, for being a partner to this, for making this happen through the representation of Mr. Soji, who I'm introducing now. So who is our facilitator? Has anybody checked him out? We've put his name out there everywhere. Do you have any teacher who has gone to go and check who is going to be our facilitator for today? Do we have anybody in the room who has done that? Whenever I have events, I like to go and first check who is this person that I'm going to be listening to, spending my time listening to. So allow me to introduce him. Lillian, please, the next slide, please. Okay, so Mr. Soji He's an award-winning educator, is a social entrepreneur, and is very passionate about inclusive education. I like that Ms. Grace had talked about how the last session we had was on inclusive learning. Now, there's always a flow, right? It's always continuous for us. So that's why we're really excited to ensure that there's a continuity in what we do. So Mr. Soji is an inclusive education expert. And the beautiful thing, something I also want to emphasize, is he's a proud WAAW Foundation trained STEM educator. Remember I talked about that we have trainings that we've had with teachers over the years. Mr. Soji was one of our participants in one of our programs over the years, and we were so excited when we saw his bio that he had it written there, proud WAAW Foundation trained STEM educator. So thank you so much, sir, for giving back to the organization through your facilitation. Something to also note, he's widely recognized for driving innovation and empowering undeserved communities through education and technology, motivated by the digital gap affecting many public schools and rural communities, which I believe some of our teachers can relate with. Mr. Soji co-founded the Teenpreneurs Education Foundation alongside his wife, who are making this happen. What started from their sitting room has grown into a transformative initiative, providing digital literacy, STEM education, leadership, entrepreneurship, and life skills. Also training out-of-school teenagers and young people through community-based innovation hub. So remember, his name is Community Innovation Hub. So you see how he's using his platform to amplify that. Beyond that, he also serves as the national convener of STEM clubs across public schools in several states in Nigeria, helping young people from undeserved backgrounds become problem solvers, innovators, change makers through the 21st century learning opportunities. His impact has reflected in the achievement of his students and mentees, many of whom have gone on to receive prestigious opportunities and fellowships. Emphasis, fellowships, guys, that's why we are here. Fellowships, both locally and globally. He has received numerous recognitions, including Global Teacher Prize finalist, Lagos State Best Secondary School Teacher. Please, let's be giving this appreciation, all this accolade. Microsoft Innovative Educator, an expert fellow, and several international education and innovation awards. With so much excitement and honor, we say thank you so much, Mr. Soji. Thank you so much for saying yes to this. And this is me handing over the floor to you. Thank you.
Please confirm that you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let me sincerely appreciate the WAAW Foundation team for bringing me back to this platform. I take this as a privilege and opportunity. I am so grateful, and I believe that I've been looking forward to something like this for a long time. I've been able to participate in physical, program to train teachers to give back, but then for you also build beyond Nigeria and beyond Africa, it is important for us to have this kind of community of practice for educators. So I'm grateful that WAAW Foundation is taking in this direction. Thank you everyone for having me. Please permit me, let me share my slide. Permit me to share my slide if
Yes,
possible. I just sent a request now.
Okay.
Sent a request. Is it possible, or you want me to let me just do something quick?
Hi, Lillian.
Where is Lillian?
Please give me a second.
Okay, it was declined. So I will also send copy. I will send you a copy too, if you can. If you can share it, that'll be fine from your end. Where is Lillian? Just permit me to share my slides. I'll be fine. Okay. So apology. All right, that should be resolved very soon.
Mr. Soji, you should be able to share your screen now. Please
So if
confirm.
I'm unable to share too, I just drop a copy to you in case.
Okay.
Okay, though, let me try now. Is it saying the host isn't allowing sharing of screen for this meeting at the moment? I don't know, but I just drop a message to you. I'll drop my slide to you if you can just share from there. So, good afternoon, everyone. I take it as a privilege and honor to be on this platform with educators, and this is my ministry. So, my first slide is talking about who I am, and then I am not just by the grace of God. I'm not just a teacher. But before everything you see them read about me today, they don't just happen automatic. I gave the flowers back to WAAW Foundation. In 2016, I was privileged to be part of educators in Lagos State, Nigeria, who were invited by WAAW Foundation. I came into the system, mind you, I came into the system 2013. So 3 years later, I got invited to attend the WAAW Foundation program training, and they opened my eyes. I met staff like Lucy, a whole lot of them, and they opened my eyes to see that the way we're teaching mathematics, the way we're teaching computer science, we must have a shift in culture. So I was exposed to STEM education early days of my career, and I got to understand that we can build a working fan using, yes, I think I have my co-host now. Yeah, it's working. Let me just do that now. So I noticed that I can build a working fan, a working solar fan. I can generate electricity. So I can see the practicality of science during that section. I have the opportunity to see the practicality of science during that section, and that opened my entire eyes. I'm like, wow. So instead of writing formula for this student, just drawing diagram for the student, so we can actually show this student how to really make this thing happen, how to make it happen in real life. And when I return from that engagement, I need to close and reshare. Yeah. When I returned from that engagement, I told myself that I must have a shift of culture. And I did exactly what I learned from that program. I decided to change my classroom to become an engaging. And the first thing I did was to redesign, because I was a young teacher then, a very young teacher. I redesigned my classroom to become a team-based classroom setting. I designed S, I designed U shape, I designed V shape, so that the student can have collective participation and they can have interaction among themselves. So instead of the students facing the board, I made them to face each other. And that was one of the exposure I got from that training. I realized that there's power in teamwork. So while I was doing that, I also ensured that I did a mix up of learning raters scale. I ensure that the student I'm grouping together, those students, I'm ensuring that those who are slow learner, I mix them with those who are fast learner. So that really helped me. That helped me to be able to do the magic I wanted to do within a classroom. So I'm just telling you about the turning point of my career. It all started in 2016. And guess what happened? In 2017, they recalled again for another, in 2017, they called again for another training. And what I would do at that point was that because I have caught the fire, and I just got married at the time, and just 1 year in a marriage, and told my wife, I said it would be nice for you to register for this program, uh, be an educationist, and because of the vision we are building, why can't? And she was able to register. She was invited, so she went there as a trainee. I was invited as a trainer, so I was in that class again, learning with the teachers, and then providing my experience, how that has transformed my learning experience, my teaching experience within just 1 year. And that was a total shift. So when we return back home, by the time we return back home, the question is, how do we make this happen in classroom? How can we set a standard? So how can we move away from the natural classroom setting to a classroom setting that is highly competitive, that spark curiosity among the children? How can we achieve all that? Then we were thinking about how can we, move away from just textbook lesson to real world investigation. we're thinking about how can we stop students from memorizing formula with no real life context to then building real life solution, coding apps and prototypes. We're asking the question, how can we ensure that computer science is taught not by theory, but it is taught by practical, oriented reality? We're asking the question, how can we make students, from being a passive student with low engagement to become highly curious, confident, and self-directed learner? Those are the questions we're asking. We were both asking ourselves because I was just privileged. I would say I was just privileged that time, having a wife that can see the vision. And then from the school point of view, I was so privileged to have a leader. My first principal at that time, Mrs. Akiemi, supported me with everything. There were no facility in school. There were no learning materials. But this woman would always tell me, go for training ahead of time. Government can supply this thing anytime. So I was just training myself ahead of time. From training myself from year 2013, 2014, all I was doing is to attend training. Because I know the journey ahead of me require training because I want to shift a culture in a public system. Remember, I teach in a public setting, in a public school. And that was what we the first thing when we came back, how can we help teachers beyond what we do? So I organized training for teachers. I also immediately organized training for teachers, free training. I have about 50 teachers in attendance. I train them. The second year, I have about 100 teachers. I train them. And then I ask teachers, how can we make your teaching, your learning more practical? And they suggest. Teachers have been going to classroom with cardboard. They go to classroom with cardboard. They draw diagram for the student. Some of the diagrams are not even correct, and students are copying it. You all remember, why in biology we always ask you to draw amoeba, and if you are lucky to have a very poor artistic teacher, they will draw amoeba in a wrong way. So, well, look, how can I use technology to help this teacher? So those are I was able to build that community of practice within my school. Amongst those hundreds of teachers, I told them, I said, can we have a community of practice locally here where I can understand your problem and then I can help you solve? That was what brought the idea of a project called Calculus Audio Aid. We started helping those teachers to transform their cardboard to printed visual aid, so that teachers are not going to classroom again with their own self-drawing material, but the material it's colorful. The student can see it, and the same thing they are seeing in Yanokaya is what they will see when they get to London. So we don't want somebody to reduce the quality of the drawing. So let the drawing be real. Let the amoeba be the real amoeba, not the amoeba you are drawing because you are not a good art teacher. So we were, helping those teachers to do research, then making their mathematics, concept to look real by using flashcard, with, giving them those material resources. And as God will have it, because of this work, when I was doing this work, we're just doing it passionately. So I had the opportunity again to attend another training for WAAW. I was trained on design thinking, and that shifted my entire system. So when I attended design thinking masterclass, I took lessons from there. I said, okay, now that we have this initiative that is doing this X, Y, Z, how can we solve this problem and how can we make this problem to be sustainable? So we had this issue. We don't have the money. We don't have the funding to make this happen because we're just helping the teachers. What we're doing was out of passion. We're just helping the teachers to ensure that they have materials to use in class. They are no longer using their hands to draw. And what they're bringing to classroom is standard. We move from there by ensuring that, okay, how much can you pay? You have used this thing for 2 years. You have used it for 2 years. If you want to offer this thing for you as a service, how much are you willing to pay? Teacher gave suggestions. Some said they can pay 1,000 naira. I think it's not bad. 1,000 naira. We're willing to pay any amount. From there, we're able to create a niche for ourselves. We created a niche for ourselves. We started building that brand. We started building that brand by helping teachers to research their topic per week. And when we research the topic per week, we started helping them to, visualize each of the topics. We started helping them to visualize each of their topic. And then from there, we started, supplying this in. So we had opportunity. While we're doing that, we're also telling our story. That was how I was fortunate to, get into a research project with Ford Foundation. And Ford Foundation had opportunity that way because of the work I do in research and visual aid. They sent me for a training in Mauritius Island. That was in 2018. I went for that training. What was the training about? I was sent to University of Mauritius to go and learn about visual aid design, multimedia design, and visual aid technology. I was there for 1 week. When I attended that training, by the time I returned back, they gave me funding to see what I can do with the project. I said, okay, let me use this funding to also give more free visual aid to teachers. So what I did, I did a sample, because it is a research work. I had to do a sample across some public schools. So I took their results. What were their performance now? Then I said, let me give them the visual aid for 1 year. But that will give them for 1 year for free for those schools, because of the support from Ford Foundation. We realized there's a lot of shift, about 35% increase in performance. Then I realized that this solution is working. So what we're doing, we were helping students and teachers to connect to real world problem beyond the normal. Just going to class will not solve it. So in this class today, I'm not going to show you the opportunity that are available. I'm going to show you the journey that brought the opportunity. So it is not about the opportunity, it's about the work. Are you willing to do the work? We're now how can teacher can use no cost material? I told you when I attended WAAW Foundation, we're building solar fan using carton. Using a pipe, water pipes. How can we use low cost material to create solutions in our classroom? How can we transform our teaching from the theoretical nature to something that the student can see and can relate with? You are a physics teacher. You are teaching physics. You are teaching it every time. But you have never taken this to the class before to show your student that this is a 9-volt battery. And they go to the class with a multimeter and ask the student to measure it, and then tell you the value they can find in it. And when the battery is low, you have never even taken this to class when it's low and ask them to use the same multimeter to check what has happened to the battery. Because you ask apology. I got disconnected. I think the Wi-Fi internet went off, but I'm back now. Can you hear me, please? I'm going to
Yes, I
reshare.
can hear you.
Let me reshare my screen again. A minute. So we were providing this, we're teaching teachers and students that instead of copy note, let the student design for doing. Let them leverage on competition. If you have truly trained your students, your learners, then you can enroll them for global competition, global contests. And it's not a quote, it's a fact. The reward of teacher is hidden in the student. If you have that understanding, and you are able to provide training for your student and make them highly standard, by the time they shine on global stage, they will ask the child, who is your teacher? And the student will point at you all over there in the crowd. But if you have not really prepared your student for global stage, then you will continue to complain about the system. If you look at the salary in education in Nigeria, you will be discouraged. If you look at the resources, you'll be discouraged. If you look at all the environmental factor, you'll be discouraged. So we are looking beyond the salary. How do we look beyond the salary? We must document your impact for everything that you do. If I have not documented my impact, how will Ford Foundation discover me from Yarapaja here? How will Google, a whole Google come to my space here in Egbeda and discover me? Google will come into my house and they will be discussed because they've seen my work. So for everything I do, the only task I have is to document my impact. As much as I'm documenting it in school, I'm documenting it in my profile. And I'm talking about it. So I keep talking about my impact. Those are the practical steps, the 5 practical steps of how we can shift the culture. Now, we move away from that. Now, if you look at your job, like I said, if you look at your job as a salary, then you miss it. During the WAAW Foundation program, I saw our foundation program as a platform. I see it as a platform that give me that opportunity to be able to develop my skill further. So, and I had the opportunity to reach. It's because I realized I teach in a public school and my classroom is about 100, 120, 80. So if I reach that student per day, that number per day, I am making a huge impact. So I document this journey. In many private schools, the maximum they got is maybe 14 or 20 in a class. But in my school, I'm having like 100. So you can't compare my impact with somebody who is just having 20. My impact is huge. So if you're a public school teacher here, get this fact right, that because you belong in that community where there's massive population, it's an advantage to you. So you are converting that job that you think is just a job, you are converting it as to a springboard. And then for every training and award and recognition that you do, that you do in your school, it connects you to founder. That's how good discover me. That was how Ford Foundation discovered me that long time ago. And then you are building a long-time legacy beyond the lesson in the class because you are in public school. So I'm talking to the public school teacher here. If you're a public school teacher on this call, realize that your environment is an advantage. You are lucky to also teach in a rural community. It's an advantage. Don't see it as a negative. Look at the opportunities there. Inside the same rural community where I teach, I have students who have been able to travel all over the world. I have students who have been able to build solutions for global stage, for global competition inside the same classroom. But it all started from the opportunity training that I got from WAAW Foundation. They opened my eyes to understand design thinking, to understand how to effectively deliver my lesson using hands-on practical experience for my student. Next slide. So when you have done all this, you are not just winning. You will not be the only one winning. 3 things are happening in one. Please excuse me. I need to call somebody on the gen. 3 things are happening in one. Your student, you are making impact in the life of the students. They are winning a lot of awards. Your school will be recognized. Help will find your school, because for me, I see my job as a platform. I see my job every single day as a platform. So as I go to school, I am praying that God let help find my school. Let help find my student. So I believe if I can impact my student through my school, then they will ask the student, who is your teacher? And then the student will recommend me. That is just my simple logic. If you've read about any award I've won or my student have won, it's just this 3 simple logic. I do my work passionately to ensure that my students are getting value. And when my students get value, my school is recognized. And when my school is recognized, they will ask, who is the teacher behind this job? Then my name will pop up. That has been my experience. So among some of the awards the students have won UNESCO Leaders Academy Fellow. I have lots of students as a massacre scholars all over the world. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 10, not 15, all over the world. Rise Global, over 1 million US scholarship. We have 2 there. Let me show you how this happened. It was WAAW Foundation that encouraged us that year and gave us that link and said, Soji, you are doing a lot of work in your community. Can you mentor your student to apply for this program? They told us, we never believed that the student from this area can win it. And guess what? We applied the first year, they didn't pick anybody. With the second year again, we have to apply again and push the student. And guess what? That same year, 2 students were given that $1 million US scholarship to study in any university of their choice. That is the value of impact. Imagine not student from the island, student from Yanopaja here, student from Alimosho here. Just to show that your impact can go beyond countries, beyond region. Beyond that, we have a lot of students who have won guest effect youth advisory, they are guest effect youth advisory panel. As advisory panel, young people of 18 years, young people of 17 years, 19 years. World Bank Education Ambassador that year. As we're winning this award, my students are benefiting left and right. So as my school is also benefiting left and right. No one is talking about the teacher at this time. The student, I am doing this work so that the two individuals, the two components here can benefit. But I believe when they get into that space, they will ask them, who is your teacher? Beyond that, Ashoka Changemaker, as we speak, we have about 7 to 8 students who are one Ashoka Global Changemaker program. Sometimes I see some of our teachers. Every year they call for Ashoka Young Global Change Makers. And I ask, every year they call, there will always be a student from my network who will be on that platform. I ask, what is missing? There should be more students from public school here. It doesn't mean that teachers are not telling their story well, or we are not providing enough support to the students, or are we leaving them hanging after high school? So another thing about me is that I don't leave my student after high school. I don't leave them after high school. After high school, I ensure that we redirect them to the hub, because the hub is a platform that will further develop their skills, give them every necessary tech skills that they have missed in high school. They may not have the opportunity to have the resources in high school, so we bridge the gap for them for 1 year. And between that 1 year, the students are already building solution. They already building solution that is solving real life problems. So when we're training them, when we're training the students, we're telling them at the point of entry. Remember, after getting this training, your job is to build real world problem that is solving real world solution that is solving a problem. So the student know from the contract. And we offer them, some of them, a lot of them, we offer them scholarships to come and learn for free. We have parents who will come and say, my child can pay, but I'm paying for 2 kids. We have organizations we reach out to and say, I love the work you guys are doing. I'm sponsoring 10 children in the community. Because of this impact, every single year, there will always be opportunity to send off a child or 2 or 3 to the airport, saying goodbye, and then connect it to another nation to go and make impact, and then go it into scholarship. Every single year, it has become a culture here at Community Innovation Hub. And you ask, when you look at the record, in the last 10 years, in the last 15 years, let's look at it from year 2020 backward. If they say any African kid or child is winning any Massacre Scholarship program, you realize that those kids are from affluent background, rich home, from the island, from well-to-do families. We have to do a deep research to find out what are those guys doing differently that we can't do. That exactly we said, okay, let's bring that same reality to Alimosho here. This is where young people can make more impact, not on the island. Island is already fixed. It's saturated already. Let's see how we can raise network of young people here in Alimosho here who are building real-world solutions to solve real-world problems. And beyond that, while we're doing this in school, while I'm doing this in school, as a student that winning competition program, there was a year my student won Stockholm Junior Water Prize. The news was all over. BBC came to school to come and interview, and when BBC visits your school or when your students speak on BBC platform, you know what happened next. There's a lot of publicity around the school. That's how DJ Kupi discovered the school. She came to the school and then promised the school, I'm going to give you, if your students have done this without material and resources, Soji, we are giving you a virtual science lab. The virtual science lab is worth over 40 million naira. She donated it to the school. Beyond that, currently, as sometimes people they will imagine this. While we're doing this in that school with my colleagues that year, people thought of it that, is it because are there talented students in that school? Let's see if we can change this guy's school. I was moved from one school to another rural community. And guess what will happen there? Within the space of 1 year, the school is already winning. I did my assignment within 1 year, no award. And after 1 year, the students started winning there. It's about strategy. Because I was given that opportunity again to reach out to another community. So I take it upon myself as a challenge. Not in the negative way. The school currently, IHS come around, donates a lab worth of 50 million again to them. The school that have been in existence for over 50 years without an ICT lab. Currently, there's an ICT lab, in an innovation lab is under construction, and it's over 50 million investment in that school. I built in that school, I set up a committee of practice for young teachers. I realized that a lot of young teachers in the system now, I have to capture them young. Every 2 weeks, I organize training for them to provide, free training for them to build their capacity. That yes, the job may not be paying well, but you guys can transform the system. Please, 1 minute. I need to. So beyond that, national recognition left and right for the school. Teachers are being motivated because when they know when there's opportunity, now that they have opportunity, so teachers are now motivated to do beyond the normal. Before, teacher will have to leave the school by 2 o'clock, but now because there's a way you get to an environment and the atmosphere will change, resonate to you because you are a light. The environment have to, the culture have to change. So if you are in a school and the system is still the way you met it, you are not yet a light. We now decide to change the culture, setting up different clubs that are valuable. SDG club is there, climate change club is there. Because why are we setting those clubs? Why are we not relying on the jet club of 20 centuries? We believe that those ones are not, they don't have relevance again. What are the big problems that we have in our world today? Water crisis is a problem. Climate change is a problem. So we must begin to train our young people to understand this crisis early. Then we now help them to begin to think about how to solve this problem. Now you can think of it. Somebody will ask. So now there are a lot of awards, but this award didn't just happen. This award you see here, these are just few of them. I have my student across the 2 schools have worked. My students have won over 100 awards. But the award doesn't just come. Remember, there is a work that drives the award. We move on. When your student win, so I need to minimize this. Yeah. So when your student win, the school win. So the solution is your presence in that school is not just you. You are developing the capacity of the student to win because you know that when they get on that stage, they will mention your name. They will ask them, who is that teacher behind this success? And your name will pop up. How do you make it happen? Through hands-on learning. If you ask me, one of the strong pillar of WAAW Foundation is hands-on learning. I don't know what the African government are doing. I don't know what Nigerian government are doing. This is an organization that have done this years and multiple years in the past. And we have seen success story everywhere. They have a better understanding of this structured learning. Why can't we empower them to reach out to more teachers? Over the years, I've seen WAAW Foundation providing scholarships to young people in high school up to university level. And you can ask, are they getting the right support for them to even do more for Nigerian teachers here or for African teachers? So from hands-on learning experience, so that I enter into competition. Because if you are lucky like me to teach in a rural school, you know that education is designed to lift people out of poverty. So that should be ringing in your head. And if education is designed to lift people out of poverty, then you must be looking, what are the opportunities that are available in my space that my student can take advantage of? Don't think about yourself. If you think about yourself, you are wrong. Do not think about yourself. Your reward will come. It should not be the first. It should be the last. Do the work passionately, do hands-on learning, let the student win. When they win, your school will win because they will ask, what is the need of your school? Somebody will come and donate for your school. And when that happens, they will ask, who is the teacher behind it? Your name will pop up. Ladies and gentlemen, beyond the classroom gate, there's a lot that we can do. As a public school teacher, you are likely to be reaching over 1,000 teachers, 1,000 students every week, or maybe 700 students every week. You are likely to be reaching that. But you are empowering a lot beyond that. So for my case, beyond the school, beyond the work I do in school, through the Community Innovation Hub, we have imparted over 3,000 out of school teenagers. Why teenagers? Somebody will ask me, why teenager? Why not youth? If you look at Nigerian education system, a student will write JAMB, and when they write JAMB, they are not likely going to enter university immediately. And ask me what happened to those students after writing JAMB. They likely get into university or not? So what would they be doing if we don't keep them busy? Then we're still talking about insecurity in our nation. We're talking about social vices. So we develop a system, the Commission Innovation Hub capture these guys, put them in an incubation. We begin to train them, expose them to real world problems through case studies, developing their skills technically by exposing them to programming skills, coding skills, web development, 3D animations, any tech skill, data science, AI that you can think of. Exposing this young guy who are just out of high school, because we know for them to do well, even in university, they need this gap year. But Nigerian system, every parent wants their kids to get to university immediately. But for some parents, they want their student to spend 1 year gap year with us. So the students are here. They are learning. After learning, they are building solution. And when they build solution, they are building track record. And after building track record, they are winning global competitions. And before you know it, within that space of 1 year that they are waiting as a gap year, they are winning scholarship to travel out of the country for their education. These are young people who are out of high school. Some of them from very poor background. Some of them don't know parents. Some of them single mother. So if we can achieve this impact within a space of 5 years, we can, as an educators, we can do more. But that is beyond class. This is beyond my work in the school. This is community impact now. Over 3,000 students have been trained. More than 20 fully funded scholarships spread across the world. Students, over 150 awards won by students at the hub and in the school. And then beyond that, the schools I work, they are getting infrastructure donation for free. Somebody will ask me, why am I not in the picture? I don't need to be in the picture. The reward will come. Let us fix the system first. So from teachers, from just a teacher that we call it, to become founder of two organizations. From just a teacher, a public school teacher. Today I have a non-profit organization, Teampreneur Educational Foundation. But beyond that, I am a member of a board of a former governor non-profit organization. They discovered me on the internet and they invited me to ask me if I'm interested to be on that board with my expertise and my experience. Just beyond a teacher, beyond the work of a teacher. As to speak, some of the things I do, some of the things I do, I got discovered. I was fortunate to be on British Council, research project for over 5 years. In fact, not just that, at some point I was made to become the research lead for the whole of Nigeria. I wasn't a university lecturer yet. I'm just a public school teacher here and a founder of organization. So if Soji can do it, anyone else on this call can do it. Next slide. So to become a connector teacher, these are the methods you need to follow. If truly you want to become that connector and connected, a teacher that is connecting their students to opportunity. So you are not just training them. I say it again. The reason for education, the most powerful reason for education is to lead people out of their current state. So if you are providing learning for students and they are still in the same space for 5 or 6 years, you have not delivered quality education to that child. So while providing training for the student, we're looking for opportunity for them. I have a team of researchers behind the scene. I have a team of researchers behind the scene who were constantly hunting for opportunity for my student. To a lot of global letters. So if you're a teacher here, you must build this culture. That's true. You must have this 3C culture. As you are training them, you know why you are training them. Then you must look for it.
everyone. Sorry about that. Looks like his network took him out. He should be back soon.
My internet. I think it's Africa. Please, can you hear me? I think it's my internet.
Yes, Mr. Soji, we lost you for a few seconds, but we can hear you now.
What do you say?
We can hear you now, but we lost you a few seconds ago.
Okay, so I can write on, right?
Hi, Mr. Soji, can you hear me?
So this side of the world. Network is a problem. So you package your students. You are packaging your students. You are helping your students to document their projects with photos, evidence, and video evidence. This is a culture in my school. For every school, if you go and check my record, among my students, I have rows. I have students report for everything that happened in the school. I help them to document because they are naive. They are young kids. And they are from a very poor background. So they don't even know what you are doing for them. So among them, I train them on how to write reports. So every day that we're doing the documents, and I also go online to help them tell their story. I brand my students. I build a strong portfolio for them. So when they are done with high school and their eyes is not clear and they need to hunt for opportunity that will change their life, they will need my posts, my success story that I've done for them. They will just go and copy the link to support their essay. It's an intentional art. The intention is simple. I want to use education to transform the life of these young guys, to lift them out of poverty. So I'm doing everything. I'm going all out for them. I will develop their capacity, want opportunity for them, then build a strong portfolio for them, document their success story on the internet. Because why? I will always tell myself, I say, guys, what you are doing today, you will need it in another 2 years. And I don't want you to cost me that time if I don't document for you. So I will always document for them. As much as I have a blank and white report in school, I will document for them on my page. And then we build an ecosystem partnership by partnering with local STEM communities. We approach NGOs and CSR department for support. Just yesterday here, I just came to my school to come and celebrate our International Day of Environment. And World Environmental Day. Guess what happened? A lot of gifts for my students, a lot of gifts to the teachers, a lot of gifts for the school. I was every opportunity I have. There are 3 things involved: to develop the students, to develop the schools, and to develop the teachers. So I will be looking for opportunity, invite mentors and experts into my classroom to come and teach, to come and share real life experience of industry with my students. So the computer I'm teaching, the students, they are seeing it from the point of practical, from the point of real life, not from the point of theory. Sometimes I will invite some of my old students who are done with university education. I will invite them, come and talk to these guys. I need their eyes to be open. And they will do it for free for me. So I was doing all this so that I can have a total shift in the culture of public school education. Your classroom is enough, dear teachers. Your classroom is enough to change child destiny, if you decide to see it that way. 3 commitments to make today. 3 commitment I expect everyone on this call to make today is to design one hands-on lesson this week and connect it to real world problem. Let me show you an example here. We all know this thing. This is a 9-volt battery. You know it. It's popular. We all know this one. A wristwatch battery. Look at it. Wristwatch battery. look at what research has done for me. In our days in high school, even up to now, in many public and private school, teachers, physics teachers, they are teaching their students about circuit diagram, about electricity, about a series and parallel connection. And all we do is to draw the diagram inside their book, and we will not let the student test it. This is a series circle diagram, if you can see it. Example, do you know that if I have this, I have a bulb here, I have a bulb here, and all I need to put here is this battery. See this battery. This battery, if I put this battery here on this circuit, if I place this battery here, ladies and gentlemen, if I place this battery here, if I place it here, and then I need to let you see something clear here. Let me show you something. If I put this battery on this spot, you have this in your class. I'm sure many of you have it in your notes, in your lesson notes. If I place this battery here, this 3-volt battery, you know this wristwatch battery, the big one. If I place it here, and then look at this thing in my hand. This is what we call a copper tape. I bought this one from AliExpress. See, because there's need for you to invest too. I didn't mention that. You must invest. It's your job. You must invest. School didn't give me money for this. I thank God for the hub anyway. So some of the things here I got it from the hub for free. So if I can use this to build a simple circuit for the student to see in real life. And if I don't have this, you know this thing that they use to warm food, that film, that copper film, you can well cut it, because you know copper too can conduct electricity. All I need to do is to trace you, or you can even use wire, is to trace my wire from here across here up to this point, then put LED battery, LED light, see LED bulb, put LED bulb on this place, put another LED bulb on the other part, because we're building series on this other part here, and then continuing the wire again. You know, the wire we cut here, the LED bulb we bridge this place. The wire we stop here, the LED bulb we bridge this place. Then the wire will come this way and end here. And once you place this your battery, this your wristwatch 3-volt, this 3-volt battery, because all these LED bulb, they are about 2.5 to 3-volt, but they are about 2.5 to 3 volts, all of them. All this LED bulb. If I place this battery here with the wire that I've already used to trace all this line, and I cover it this way, guess what will happen? This bulb will turn on here, and it will turn on here. The bulb will turn on here, and it will turn on here. So your students are not just drawing series, they are not just drawing series connection. They are not just drawing parallel connection. They are taking it from the point of practical. They can never forget. So when in WAAW, they ask them to draw, the student can easily recall. Or you get into a class as a physics teacher, you just go to a class, you want to show them the wonder of physics. This is an LED bulb, and this is a 9-volt battery, and this LED bulb is about 2.5 volt. Why this one is 9 volt? You ask yourself, what will happen? So we tell you that it will power it. So we say that it will fry the blade. So we tell you that I don't know what will happen. Let the student experience it. And that's what we call it hands-on. So you place it, the longer one is positive, you place it on the positive, and the shorter one is negative. When you place it, let the student experience it. When I plug it, it fries. You see the light, it fries immediately. You try another one. When I place it, see, and I plug it, it fries also. I can hear the sound here. So when your students try all these hands-on activities in your physics classroom, what you are doing is that you are building a hands-on lesson that is connecting to a real-world problem. So your student can easily spot an electric issue at home and then look for ways to solve the problem. So they are not, see, you can't be teaching physics and then still be looking for an electrician to come and help you change bulb. Something is missing, and that's the education we receive. So when you do this, you now begin to enter your student into one local. I want everybody to take note of this. So build one hands-on lesson this week, then enter your student to one local or international STEM competition. They are all there. We have a lot of, I'm going to mention some to you today. I will give you some list today. Enter them for once real local or international STEM competition. There are a lot there. When we attended the WAAW Foundation program that year, they gave us this platform for free. They gave us some of the links. You can, I said after 10 years of my network with WAAW, I was able to keep the connection. I was able to keep my relation with them. And after 10 years, they reached back to me to say, Soji, what you are doing with your students is amazing. Can some of your students apply for RISE Global? I've been seeing students winning RISE Global. The last one that was done, we recorded the highest ever in Nigeria. Our hub we have 2 students who got into RISE, and it has only been 1 in Nigeria before. 1 or 2 in Nigeria. That year they got about 4 or 5. And 2 are from our community. 2 are from here. And then when you do this, when you register them for the competition, document your impact and share it on your story. Share your story. Share it on your Instagram page. Share it on your Facebook page. Share it on your LinkedIn. Because your story is someone else's inspiration. People need to hear your story. People need to hear your story. So I believe that I want to be sure that I'm not, So I believe that at the end of this training, we are not just teachers of theory, but we are teachers of hands-on, teachers of STEM, and teachers of hands-on learning delivery. I just mentioned to you before when we started this class, I said I'm going to mention some of these opportunities that you can connect yourself with. But remember, the logic is so simple. Before you start hunting for opportunity for yourself, develop your student capacity so well. Make name for your students and make name for your school. When you do that genuinely, then you will have a lot of impact story to tell. There are a lot of competition you are not getting. The reason why you are not getting to those competitions is because you don't have enough impact story. If a teacher said his student has won over 150 awards and he can list all of them out, and you just want to share your student have won 3 awards and you mention the 3, and they look at the record, they look at the links, and they are clicking link to the 100, and they can see different awards won by the students, won by different students. You can see that the difference is clear there. Don't settle for the less as teachers. Don't see the job as the way the world sees it. See it beyond whatever your community calls you. They call you a rural teacher, they call you a village teacher like myself, they call you a poor teacher. See it beyond that. And then there's need for you to build capacity. You must build capacity. You must develop yourself. I didn't just get into research program with British Council by chance. It was through recommendation. Those who have seen my work. And the program was designed for university lecturers. But somebody said, this guy is not a university lecturer, but I think he can do a lot. Yeah, can we make him join? Can we make this guy join his organization, join a force with university? And that's what changed the story. So if somebody like me can do it, anyone else here can do it. So just like I mentioned, I have a lot of community parties I belong to. Training every week. Up to now, I say attending training because there's a lot to learn. In fact, I learn. I call myself teacher. I call myself student. I learn every single day from the student, from my colleagues, and from global partners and global leaders and mentors. I have a lot of mentors. WAAW Foundation is one of my mentors. The founder is one of my mentors. The trainers there, Lucy and the likes, they are still my mentor to today. Forget about the awards. But for you to be a successful teacher,
you need to have this network of mentors, this network of impact makers, so that you can align your work with impact. It's not enough to work. If your work is not making huge impact, then it's not work. It's just 9 to 5. Your work must make the right impact. Some of the opportunities, like I mentioned, if a public school like myself can be a member of UNESCO AppNet. What is UNESCO AppNet? UNESCO Associated School Network. I joined that program. I got to know about that program in year 2021. I had opportunity of traveling to which country? Maybe I traveled to Senegal for a conference. They call it a e-learning Africa. I was in that program, and during the networking session, I had opportunity of meeting different people, and I was asking questions. And the man heard my story, why I had the opportunity to also present paper there. And the guy said, "Are you a public school teacher or a university?" I said, I teach in public school, and I also have a non-profit organization. That's how the man said, "I'm a UNESCO staff, and I don't know if you can join this our community of practice." The man gave me his contact. He said I should send him an email. I sent him an email. He registered me, but I realized that oftentimes the platform, there was some leader for Nigeria, so they could not run it. It's just of recent. I just saw it on the internet that they are calling for another network of practice. I said, this is a very big platform. I wrote the coordinator for Nigeria, and immediately the man replied. He said, this is the link to register. You remember, if you want to join UNESCO AppNet, you are not joining it as an individual. You are joining it on behalf of your school. Because it's a school thing. Your school needs to be part of that community of practice. But guess what happened there? So I wrote there's a lot of essays and a lot of projects you need to put your report and project activities in place in that document. I did all that in the link, and the application is still on. It's on rolling basis. You guys can go and check it out. UNESCO AppNet, ASP.NET. I will put it on the chat right away. Just check it out. UNESCO. Some of you may be on this platform. Associated Schools Network. That's it. If I'm going to check it out, it's a very powerful network. Guess what happened? Inside that same community of practice, that is a body of UNESCO that is in charge of education, teacher development, teacher capacity development. So they share a lot of opportunity on that platform. They share a lot of opportunity with their members on that platform. So if your school is on that platform, automatically you too will benefit. And it's a global program. I've seen African there. I've seen other countries from Europe. They are on that platform. So it is a country-based thing. For teachers in Nigeria, you have to join the one for Nigeria. So once you are a member of that community, you are on your way to a global door. Just last week here, UNESCO spotlighted one of my students for the International Art Day competition that they did. They asked students to draw, to describe peace in their own way. And I told them, all my students, you have an opportunity from UNESCO. If you know you're very good in drawing, I know there's an art teacher here. Come, let me mentor you. I drew the student for 1 week. I just took my time to drill them for 1 week. Ask them to draw different concepts. We did them different tasks. I told my STEM club to drill them because I have some students that I've trained. I asked them to start drilling them. And then the students started drawing. They started improving. And at the end, we were able to select 2. And with the 2 we submitted, they spotlighted the 2 of them. And one of them became top 10 around the world. Just last 2 weeks here, or last week here. So the opportunity is endless. You need to look for them. But before you look for them, you need to develop the capacity of your student and then spotlight your school more. Let the world know about what your school is doing. Let the world come to support your school. Let the world come for your students to support them. When your students are lifted, they will ask who is their teacher, and they will mention your name. So for Nigerian teachers, you can look for the maternal teacher is currently out now. Look for maternal teachers prize. It's currently out there. You can apply, you can plug into it. It's currently out, and this year to make it, because I won it before, I can apply again. To make the market awards, they're even adding an SUV car to it this time. So it's a huge prize. It's a huge prize, worth over 30 million. So Martina is here. So there's a program that I belong to, a community of parties I belong to called Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert. I've been on that community of parties since 2019. Every year we apply. Every year we apply, they do their selection. And you know the beauty of it. If you are a Microsoft Educator Expert, you have an access to endless professional development. Some of the courses on Microsoft, you will do it for free. That will improve your classroom delivery. That will improve your teaching in classroom. That will improve your student capacity. You have endless resources there for free as a member of Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert. Let me put that one out there. Look out for it. Another course is going to be out very soon. MIE Expert. Look out for it. I have a lot of my teachers in Nigeria who I mentor, who are now member of this committee of parties. Look out for Global Teachers Prize. Who says you can't win Global Teachers Prize? By grace, we've been there. I've won it. Top 50 in the world. But remember, if you want to go for all this recognition and all this award, you can't go there empty-handed, guys. You need to do the work. You need to do the work because you are competing with the world. You are competing with Nigerian applicants, you are competing with African applicants, and then you are competing with world applicants. So there's a lot that you need to do your homework. Empower your student. Spotlight your student success. Let your student win local award, regional award, and global award. There are a lot of them there in climate change. So why is it that I love exposing my student to happenings of the present? It's because, see, when you connect your student to issues of climate change, there are a lot of competition in climate change. That is the logic. When you connect your student to crisis of water, solving problem around water, there are a lot of opportunities, STEM opportunity and competition for students in water. You can check it out. There are a lot of them. You can just check Global Water Prize, Global Water Opportunities, Global Climate Opportunity, or National Climate. There are a lot of them. When you expose your student to the knowledge of the SDG, there are a lot of competition around the SDGs. Because the SDG is another body of language that is very important in our world. As teachers, you must be an advocate of SDG, if not all, at least as you go for quality education. Currently in Lagos, I am the lead. I am the lead convener of SDG across many schools. Every week, I create curriculum for teachers. I lead a committee of parties that create curriculum for teachers in Lagos to teach SDG in the classroom with hands-on learning activities. Guess what? Are we paid for this thing? No. Impact. And the reason to lift young people out of poverty, especially my sector, because I belong to the public sector. If you teach in private school, good luck. You have the resources. You know, for all that don't teach in private school, there's a lot of problem in public school. So God will raise somebody to come and solve this problem. And that is why God raised us and sent us there as light. And we must do the right thing. So I connect my students to all these current happenings, current world problems, because there are a lot of opportunities in that space. A lot of opportunity in SDGs, a lot of opportunity in climate change, a lot of opportunity in green energy, a lot of opportunity in water crisis. So opportunities are there. In tech, there are a lot of opportunities. That is the reason why I transitioned JEC club in my school to STEM club, because I know there are a lot of opportunity in STEM. Last year, group of 5 students in my school won a STEM competition organized by an organization in the UK. They gave the student 400,000. Guess what we do with the money? I told them, we're going to register NECO for all of you, and then use the rest to build a prototype project in your school so that the student can benefit, can also have an impact. That's exactly the way we work. The students they give back their money, and they also use the money to support their education. Because of the sector I am coming from, I'm from a public school, and most of the students are from a very poor background. So, Global Teachers Prize, Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert, UNESCO, ArtNet, and Nigeria. You can look for it. There are a whole lot of them, but remember, before you can start applying for all this competition, all this opportunity, you also need to do the work. You need to empower your students. You need to spotlight your students. You need to help them document their story, because you know they are kids. They don't know the importance of documenting story, because we call something track record. In the digital world, we call it digital footprints. If you are applying for a global competition, a global program, and you don't have a digital footprint, you're going to have a problem. So there must be a digital footprint of your activities over time, not something you are creating. Just like if you put my name on Google now, you're going to see a lot that even external bodies have written about me. So you must have those kind of digital footprints so that your name can become a bank check. Somebody can take your name to the bank and they can catch money with it because of trust. So I just dropped few of them here, and I will be open to questions, and then I'll provide feedback and answer on this call right now. So let me end it here, and then let me see. Thank you guys for having me. Yeah. WAAW, you here? WAAW, you here?
Hi, Mr.
Yes,
Soji.
we are here. We are here. Understand. Thank you very much, Mr. Soji. I loved the session. I loved everything you said, and there was a lot of ginger. I mean, our teachers has to do more, and they have everything to actually do it. They know what it takes. I mean, they are the ones that interacts closely with our students, so they have a way. They have much effects to have on them. Thank you very much. So, without further ado, let's please let's ask our questions with the time that we have. Now that Mr. Soji is here, so he can attend to all of our questions. Educators, please. Let's hear our voices. No, I'm not going to allow us type. I need us to make this room a little lively. So you're going to unmute yourself and please speak. Speak. Let's hear you. I mean, we are adults here. Nobody's going to be shy. Fellows are shy, but teachers can't be shy. So please, let's please unmute. If you have a question, just signify with the raise of hand. I'm sure you know how to navigate through there, and then we can allow you unmute yourself and speak. Please, teachers, you have the floor. Okay, Vivian Duru, you have the floor. Please ask your question.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Soji. Thank you so much for the session so far. It was really gingering, like Rola said. Like for me, I've had some digital from WAAW Foundation too, when we, were enrolled as teachers on the LUV Level Up Village programs. So I know how it feels and I know the impact it made. It was really awesome. That's why I don't even waste time to, get myself involved again. So I don't know if there are other ways, that we can get ourselves involved aside. I don't know if you have techniques that you can, give to us, especially to some teachers in private schools who would want to, get knowledge on all the things to do about STEM and all that. So I don't know if there are techniques. I don't know if there's anything, materials you can get, especially for those that are starting up newly on how to guide and, well, thank you so much. I really thank you for the session. So yeah, that's my question.
So let me respond to that quick. Let me respond to that quick. So for those in private school, thank you. Thank you very much for that question. So if you're a young educator, I would advise you for something. Before you start looking for, I'm glad that you also participated in a LUV program. It's a very wonderful program. Thank you, WAAW Foundation, for that program. Thank you for all the support we got for our classroom that time. It was very lovely. God bless you. So for you that is just young teachers in private school, we appreciate that. I mentioned the program here, Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert. See, set yourself out for that program completely. Register for that program once it's out. And then if you are lucky to be selected, you are going to have access to pool of resources. And because you're a private school teacher, if you have access to those pool of resources for free, the knowledge, you can monetize the knowledge. You can become consultant to other private school. You can train teachers to come and have that same knowledge because you are private. You guys, you are the big ones, and you have the You have the resources. There are teachers who are interested to, to build capacity, and there are schools who are interested to train their teachers. So you can organize a mini STEM program for teachers, and then you can take advantage of that to upscale yourself. But more importantly, because if you are young, there's place for capacity building. Take time to build your capacity. Take time to attend different capacity development webinar program like this, so that you can have all it takes. It's very important so that you can give value. Because once you build a brand, you want people to believe in your brand. You want people to trust your brand. So do your homework. And because you are a private school teacher, do not stop you from having a startup, an tech startup. I mentioned here, it was through the WAAW Foundation I was trained about design thinking. And when I returned from the training, immediately myself and my wife, we set up an initiative immediately to practice what we have learned in class. And then guess what? We're solving problems. And then to test the market. And what immediately we established that this thing is working, we monetize it. So nobody says because we're a private school, you can have an edtech, a virtual solution that you are selling that people can buy, and then you use that to scale. And how do you secure funding for your program too? If you have that kind of initiative and the funding is always a challenge, some of us while we're growing, while we're still growing, where we're coming up and we're looking for funding support from here and there, God sent us helps like Tony Lumino Foundation because we have a solution that works. Tony was the first person that feed our idea, that found our idea. And that changed a lot of things for us. So you can also have an edtech solution, an edtech startup that you can present, post out for the Tony Miller Foundation. Nothing stop you because you're a private school teacher. You can have all that. And then when you submit, you may be lucky to be selected. And if you're not selected, you will have access to attend the training. Guess what? By the time you begin the next step to apply, you may be lucky. So those are the two ways I want you to look at it. First, build capacity if you are young. And once you have capacity, build a brand. And then you can monetize the brand. And then you can also seek funding for the brand. So that within the shortest time, you can decide to either move to continue your vision, or you still want to remain in that private school if they are delivering that, if they are exchanging money for your value properly. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question, please? Teachers, we have the floor to ask our questions. Questions bordering on this topic. Questions you'd like to have other educators rub minds on. You can ask, please.
Obianuju's hand is raised.
Please unmute and ask your question. Are you there? Can you hear me? Please unmute and ask your question. Okay. Any other question? Please, I need us to ask questions. We still have a little more time on our side. Let's ask our questions on the subject that we just discussed. Okay, in the absence of any question, we will go on. Okay, my network is bad. I want to ask where we can find materials for hands-on projects like mini water pump or mini generator. So Obianuju asked, she said her network is bad, and so she would want to ask where we can find materials for hands-on projects like mini water pump or mini generator? Mr. Soji, please. Do you have an answer to that
I'm trying
question?
to look for one for you quickly. There's a platform I use, Instructable, yeah. Instructable platform. You go to see a lot of hands-on project there that you can learn from, and then you replicate for your class. Can you hear me, please? Why you can hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So in Instructable, you can just type what you want. Educator like us, we build projects, we post it there. People all over the world build projects, they post it there, so that educators can have access to it locally and globally. I just dropped the link. So Instructable is it's a platform that you can use. Just check. You see, I just sent you a direct link to water pump. How to make a mini water pump. Yeah. So Instructable is one of them, one of the platform. He hosts lots of them like that. And then if you are a programmer, you like coding, you like to do project, 3D project, you can check Walkway. Walkway. You can look for Walkway. Walkway is another platform that allow you to do electronics projects. Walkway allow you to do electronics projects. You go to see a project built by community of practice. Teachers like us all over the world are building projects. Our students are building projects that we're posting it to Walkway, so that you can just check for uh, hands-on activities of your choice, and you will get copies there. Remember, the hands-on activities where you expose your student to hands-on, it will help them to retain whatever they've learned. They won't forget. They won't forget. So it may be hard. The resources may be hard to get, but you can always. That is why during our days in university, they taught us something we call improvisation. So you will improvise where there's no original. You will use available. So you may not have all the imported materials. Some of them you may need to get them from an electronic store. If you don't have, you can improvise with some resources you have at home, and then your student can have an hands-on activities and they can be inspired. You know, when students build, you are trying to spark their curiosity, and that is helping them to develop critical thinking skills, because they will try, they will fail, they will try, they will fail, and they will try again, they will get it, they won't forget. But if it is not writing, it's just one-way traffic. If it is not writing, so if you're a kind teacher, you are the teacher that will now check the notes and say, your handwriting is bad, to improve next time. It's one-way or two-way traffic. But for hands-on project, you say we do, they will fail. They will do, they will fail. And they will do the third time, they will get it. And then they know it forever. That is the advantage of hands-on, unlike note writing. Hands-on helps them to retain information a lot. So I hope that you'll be able to try your hands-on Walkway. There's another one we use to do. We use one here at the hub called, let me check it out. Read the projects. Read the projects. So let me see. Yeah, Tinkercad. Tinkercad is another very nice platform you can also check. I will drop it on your page now. Just sign up with your Tinkercad. Allow you to build different project prototype. So your student can also build prototype with Tinkercad, and then that will also help them. For those of you in private school. Hey, let me tell you something here. I was in the United States last year, and I met some educators, of age. Let me shock you. Educators of age 70, 65, 60 years. Some of them retired. We attended the training together. And then what shocked me about them, all of the teachers in that room know how to use Canva. All of the teachers in that room. In Nigeria, before I went for that training, I have student who is helping me to design my materials. But since I entered that class and I returned back to Nigeria, I stopped that habit. All of them, we're building a prototype during that program. Mama of 60 years, mama of 45, 50 years, she's the one who volunteered to design the prototype for us using Canva. I said, wow. Tinkercad is just, so if you're in private school, I beg of you, invest in all these things. If you know them, you're going to make a lot of money. So Nigeria, we believe that the work of Tinkercad, the work of Canva is only for graphic designer. No, there's Canva for educators. There's Canva for educators. In fact, everything we have discussed here today, I can just go on Canva and ask Canva, I need a template I can use for immediately. So with Canva, because you have the resources in private school, you have lights, you have a nice board that you can use to inspire your students. You can now use all these resources as an add-on. You can use Kahoot in your class. You have those resources. You can use it in your class. Every time I envy private school teachers because you have a lot. Unlike we in public school, we don't have anything. You guys have a lot. In some classroom in private school, anytime I have for you to go to a private school to go and train teachers, I will say smart board. I'm like, what? This is millions. So you have this. So invest in Canva is not for graphic designer. Don't get it wrong. Canva is for teachers. There's Canva for educator. Go and look it out. So the same Canva too, you can use it for your class. So any topic you want to teach, the topic is already on Canva. Go and check it out. Just tell Canva, animal. Let me give you a topic in biology. Blood cell. Put it on Canva. You are going to see flashcard that will come out in blood cell that will help you explain your concept to your student better, other than what you see in textbook. And if you are an engineer, if you are a physics teacher, you can use WAAW or Tinkercad to build different prototype that you want your student to draw. But this time they are not drawing it. You build your own and you put them in group. You ask them to also build the same thing. That way, it will stick to their brain forever. Guys, thank you for having me. I think we are. Question, please.
Thank you, Mr. Soji. Thank you so much. I just love the energy that you bring. I mean, it's already making me want to, because I have a dream of owning a school, but it's still underway. So it's making me want to own the school right away so I can start implementing all of this. But not to worry, I have them all penned down. And I think I know some of us, the educators right here, we have our pen and our papers writing these things down. Of course, the faintest ink is still sharper than the smartest brain. Right. Thank you. We're a little behind time. So all of our questions, any more that might be coming in, would have to drop them in our group chat. Let's get that group chat lively so that we can always know that our teachers is part of WAAW Foundation. Our teachers, they are part of WAAW Foundation. We are not relegating you to the background, because without you, we wouldn't have fellows. Without you, we wouldn't have anything or any scholars to even begin with. So going ahead, please, at the end of this call, we'll take a moment to complete our feedback survey form, so that this feedback will help us improve and serve you better. It will help us improve and serve you better. So the survey will pop up right after you leave the call. So immediately you hit on your leave button, just watch out for your phone. The form will pop up. All you have to do is just fill out the form for us, and we'll get it at our own end. That will also serve as the attendance I would use to issue our certificate as well. Then the webinar recording also will be sent to you as well. If you'd want to revisit it, you want to catch up on what everything Mr. Soji has said here, if you want to refresh your memory on some things that have been said here, you will also upload that on our YouTube, and then we'll share the link with you via email, all of us here. So please stay connected with us. Be the first to know about our future trainings, our webinars, our STEM education programs. All of these things are incorporated into WAAW Foundation's mission and vision. So all of these Tinkercad, Walkway, Canva, and all the lots of those resources, right? I know that we have shared them amongst our network, in amongst our fellows, and when they go to these schools, they actually showcase these things that came from us. So these are some of the organizations like ours that you can always get these first-hand resources that will help your work, ease it for you. Gone are those days where teachers scream and scream and scream down their lungs and their throats. Right now, it's as much as it's not easy, but it's more smarter to actually have these things at your beck and call, wrapped around your fingers, and then you create students that are just phenomenal. So please, you can follow us on Instagram at WAAW Foundation, Facebook WAAW Foundation, on X WAAW Foundation, and then LinkedIn WAAW Foundation. It's just WAAW Foundation all through. If you just type in WAAW Foundation, you see it pop up, and you get every bit of our information, what is going on next, and what we have coming up. Of course, some of these webinars might be physical, and the physical ones will also let you know. If you can be there physically with us, would appreciate that. Right, moving on ahead, please, would want us to turn on your video so that we can take a group photo. Even if it's, we know it's virtual, but if we were physical, we would have struck a pose to take pictures. So right now, we just want us to turn on our video so that we can just take a snapshot of that. Please, let's quickly do that. We want to see our very beautiful faces and handsome faces. Hi. Okay, at our workplace, we don't do the mammies and stuff. So I hope nobody gets offended when I call them by their name. Please don't be offended. So I have Eyehase. She's here. Obianuju is here as well. At Yusuf, please. Can you put on your video so we can see your face? Thank you. Foluke Olatoke, I think she's the very first person I admitted into this call. Thank you very much for coming in at the right time. There is Grace, and there is Imami Shimwe Emerans. There is also Jamila Suleiman. We have Reynat Omolara Adeboye. We have Sakina Nasidi Akivo. All of us all present here. Thank you very much for being with us in this session. We also have the amiable WAAW Foundation team. The ED, the executive director of WAAW Foundation, is here. The person of Oluwatimileyin Onafeso. There is also our HR personnel, Austin Jessica. We also have our partnership manager, Chinon So and so forth. Thank you very much. And all of our team members, Adufe, Esther, and every other person that is right here on this call. We appreciate you that you joined us here in this session. Thank you very much. And we acknowledge especially our facilitator, Mr. Soji. Thank you very, very much. I mean, I enjoyed your session. I love the energy that you came with. It was phenomenal. Thank you very much for having us in this session. Right. So, without further ado, we can take our leave, please. Thank you very much for your participation. As you leave, please watch out for our survey link, our survey form. Fill it out. It will be much appreciated. Thank you very much. Yes, please. We can take our leave now. I will just end the call myself, but I would want you to, of course, take the leave yourself so that you can have the survey form where you fill out the form for us so we can get the feedback from you. So we are free to leave the call now. Thank you.